Okay, to operate this wall button here, this is a model 880LMW. So to operate this wall button, it comes with certain models of Liftmaster openers. We'll run through it. So the top part here will operate the door. So this is actually a button. Okay, they've been putting stickers on there for quite a while. All right. The screen here will give you some time, temperature, diagnostics and stuff like that. So if anything goes wrong, it'll tell you the battery status. So it's 84, 85 degrees in here, and it's 5:26 p.m. Below that are some buttons that you can use to do a whole bunch of things in here. We'll talk about that in a second. Below that is your light switch. This will turn on and off your lights at will. Also, this right here is a motion sensor. So when you walk in the garage, say through the door to the house, you come into the garage, when you get in front of that motion sensor, if that catches you, then that will turn on the lights, which is pretty nice because you can come out and get something out of the refrigerator and then go back in and the lights will turn themselves off automatically. If you turn it on with this, if you turn it on with this, it will stay on indefinitely. If you turn it off, you can also turn it off early with this if you want to save yourself a little electricity, because the standard for the lights staying on is 4.5 minutes. Okay, that's how it comes standard. And then if it turns on with this, it will go to that 4.5 minute timer. I'm going to get into the menu real quickly here. So the first option when you press menu, so basically there's the button functions change based on what's right in here in this zone. So the first option is clock setup. So if we go in, we can do change time. We can show or hide the clock. We can do 12 or 24 hour. If we wanted to change the time, we would just go in here, add some time, subtract some time, move over to the minutes, add some minutes, subtract some minutes. This is the correct time, so I'm not going to change that. I'm going to click done. Now I'm back out to the main screen. I'm going to go into menu, look at the next feature, which is TTC off. So that's timer to close, so it's currently off. Timer to close basically allows you to close this door after a certain length of time, all right? The standard ones are 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or you can do a custom length of time, say 20 minutes or whatever you want. So the door will automatically close after that length of time. That way if your kids come in and out and they leave the door open and you don't want it open all day, that'll just automatically close the door. So if we want to set that, we would just, we would set it like say to 10 minutes. A minute might be too early, even 5 minutes might be too early. So now it says TTC on for 10 minutes, okay? I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna turn off TTC, and we now say door will not attempt to close. Okay, because on this house, this is new construction house, we don't want that. The lock switch is not a super, I don't really recommend using it. It basically locks out remote control. So currently that lock feature is disabled. This is sort of a legacy feature here that I don't think is too useful for anybody. But if something happens, like, somebody has a remote control and you don't want them getting in, if your car gets stolen or something like that, you can block out the remote controls and you can keep them from getting in. The next one is program. That's probably gonna be the most used item in here. So this will allow you to program your phone, your smartphone to the door. You would actually download the app and the app would talk you through this. If you want to add another remote control or tune in your car to the system, you can do it through the remote spot. MyQ accessory, not a lot of people use those, but they have certain things where you can turn on a light in the house or do different things using the MyQ system. Keypad, you can use that to change your keypad code, all right? So you would just basically go down, go into it, and then it would tell you to enter your 4-digit code and press enter, and then that would change your keypad. Light to remote, that's probably a very rarely used feature, but it would allow you to turn on and off the light with the remote control, okay? So you would just go into that, all right? You would use that arrow to go into that feature, and then it'll tell you what to do while you're in there. Temperature just toggles between Fahrenheit and Celsius. Language toggles between English, French, and Spanish. Light settings, so light settings does a couple things. You could change the length of time that the light stays on, so you can have it stay on for, you can change it to 1.5, 2.5, 3, or 3.5 minutes from the standard 4.5 minutes. You would use that by going into here, and you can subtract time or add time up to a maximum, up to a maximum of 4.5 minutes. You can also turn off the automatic light feature here. So if you don't like the fact that the lights turn on using the motion sensor when you walk in the garage, you can turn off that feature by going into where it says automatic light. We're gonna go back, and then there's contrast adjust. I'm really not sure exactly what the point of this is, but it just changes the contrast on your screen here. Why anybody would want or need that, I'm not really sure, but that's the other feature. So that's everything you need to know about using this wall button.